Hey everyone, Miacidae here. Welcome back to the Dragonsaintess Spotlight. Today we're going to be going and continuing it, doing the dungeon portion of it. Now this one is going to be a long one because I am going to be doing both quests for her. There are two quests. Just some timestamps for everyone because this is very, very long, and some notes for everyone because I actually had to re-record this section. The veteran version timestamp here is the one that does not have the Dragonsaintess in it. That is the one where you unlock the Dragonsaintess, so don't mind the fact that I have her right here. The champion version, where I will be showing the Dragonsaintess, is where you can go in with anyone afterward and do your own thing. Timestamp also right here. That one is much harder for various reasons. Alright, so the party for today is going to be a little bit scuffed because, as you can see, I don't have too many veterans to choose from. So we're going to be going into this quest with what we have because it is a veteran. Now, normally I wouldn't say much about it being a veteran. I like veteran quests. Now, just because it is on my side estate where either I have a lot of apprentices I could choose from because they are very easy to get, or most of my heroes now are set up in champion levels. This is just a little bit of a doozy for me. We're just going in there with what we have. So I was able to set up a semi-marking team with a little bit of a front row damage dealer. So that's what we have for today. Now, reminder that there are two quests for the Dragonsaintess. So this is the first quest that we need to do to even unlock her before we play with her. I will be doing both quests on this video just to show what they are, how they kind of play, and then we'll be doing the next quest with her if I can. The group for today, before we get into the quest, we're going to be doing a Lawbringer here, so we get to use all of his skills, each one kind of dependent on, what I need to hit. So we'll just go over his trinkets here really quick. We're going to have the Ancestor's Letter Opener. This is just plus accuracy on melee skills. Everything but Ignis Ember here is a melee skill, or Juggernaut being a self buff. Everything should have a little extra accuracy there, and then on melee hit, I wasn't sure if I was going to be fighting a boss, and I know bleed isn't the best in the Cove, but it's just a little extra. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's on hit bleed 1 for 4 rounds. Additionally, we have the Iron Thunder from the Raging Raiju. This does plus 15% damage and plus 3 crit for all melee skills. Ignis Ember will do minus 30% ranged damage, and then on melee hit he will debuff whatever he hits to get plus 6% crits received for the next few rounds. For our healer, we're going to be using the Milkmaid. For the main reason that she is a very good healer and restoration healer. She can also do emergency healing with Glimmering Butterfly, hitting a secondary target, also curing the stun and curing the mark off of them if I need to. She can also mark for the people that can synergize with mark. She can also blight if I need her to blight. I could also trade out the blight for like an additional heal or a bleed depending upon what I need. For her trinkets, we're going with the Bottomless Pail. This means every time I attack, we refresh the use of Glimmering Butterfly so we can use that more often. I believe that there is a boss at the end of the Wormling Corruption quest. That's why I'm kind of planning to fight something hard. And on attack hit will buff plus 1 healing done. So either Comet's Kindness or Glimmering Butterfly will heal for a little bit more. And then just so things don't hit the fan, just in case, she goes down to Death's Door or just needs that little bit of extra healing, we're going to be using the Mace of Insidious Plague here. So on Death's Door or getting hit to or on Death's Door, she has a chance to heal 15% of her max HP, and then on any action she does, she gets a restoration to heal 1 point for 3 rounds. I traded out that other trinket she had. That's going to be going to someone else. We're going to be using the Arbiter. He's going to be using Lightning Hands to take advantage of the mark. Otherwise, we have Concussive Shot to lower damage on something I want to lower damage on, Raptorial Nature to get a damage reflection and riposte, and Protection Detail to guard someone. Murderer's Mark as a trinket to up his accuracy on melee skills, upping the damage on Raptorial Nature and giving himself a damage buff anytime he riposts, and Self-Aware Body Armor to up his health once again so he has 92 health, and give him even more damage reflection. He also blights on being hit. And then finally, a Foreigner. She's going to be using Hunt Down to once again be taking advantage of the mark, Grudge to mark something if I want to, breach if for whatever reason I want to move forward, doing an armor piercing, breaking and disabling guard, and a morale boost to get rid of a little bit of stress. She has the harpoon gun on her, so this lowers the damage of hunt down, but does up the accuracy, gives it armor piercing, and gets rid of the cooldown. It also lowers the bleed amount on it, but I'm not using it for the bleed amount. And then we have the triple barrel Teppo on her, so this ups the damage on ranged skills, ups the crit on them, lowers the damage on all melee skills. It's kind of the exact opposite of Iron Thunder. And then on range attack it, debuff the target to get plus 6% crits received. So if we're banging both of those against the same target, they're going to be getting a lot more crits received. Now, once again, I'm not sure that this Wormling Corruption is going to have a boss at the end of it, but this is the first quest for the Dragonsaintess, which you need to do to have her even appear in the stagecoach, unless you get another mod that makes her appear. I'll put that mod right here, but without that secondary mod, you need to do this quest, which also gives you the self-annihilating skills, which will put you immediately at Death's Door, minus 999% HP, but it does give you plus 13 speed, compensating for the minus speed you will get for being at Death's Door. Once again, plus 45% damage while at Death's Door, giving you more than the amount of damage you will lose for being at Death's Door, plus 25 accuracy and 12 crit for being at Death's Door, which you will be at, plus 100% trap disarm chance, and if you use a friendly skill, buff yourself for 2 blocks. And anytime you are hit, you will cure yourself for bleed and blight. So you cannot die to bleed or blight, you can only die to actual hits. Now, the Wormling Corruption. The once still waters of the cove have been disquieted by the roars of an unknown beast. Prevent the murky waters from blackening further. Seek out and end the source of the disruption. It's a long quest, it's a veteran. So let's go do it. Gonna bring everything I can here, just being a little cautious because I don't really know what's in here, and then we'll be off. Now, I do know a little bit about one of the quests. I'm not sure if they're the same quest, so we'll see kind of what's in here. Oh, I love the background art here. The bountiful life deep within the depths of the cove has become virulent, twisted. The flow of life you take for granted may no longer be your steadfast ally. So I'm assuming this is going to be the boss of the place, and if this is what I think it is, we have a lot to do. Now, I am going to preface this right now. I did a video, I want to say that last week now, where I kind of said I had a few medical things going on. It's getting better. I'm still not at 100%. So you may notice I'm still winded, I'm still losing my train of thought a little more often, or I'm still just not thinking of the right thing to say and kind of having trouble thinking of the right thing to say. Or I might just still be playing a little badly because I'm not thinking correctly. So I'm doing this section right here before I even do the whole skill breakdown that already happened earlier in the video, because I can't get the Dragonsaintess until I've done this section. So I wanted to get this out of the way. And then the next quest, which will be later down the road, will probably be once I'm feeling better. Just thought I'd get that out of the way. So that's why I might be like taking deeper breaths, things like that, which I usually edit out. But if it still gets into the recording or anything like I mentioned before, that's why. And this looks like one of the quests where you have to find your own way. Okay. And I just realized I made a fatal error already and didn't put a scouting trinket on anyone. So this could be interesting. We're not going to use any of the shovels here, but we will just get some of the loot.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Chained giant, this could be interesting. So I'm gonna hunt down on the Crackshot. That'll get him bleeding at least, maybe. Oh wait, doy. It's not gonna have him bleeding unless I have another trinket there. We'll mark the giant for now. That was a little loud. Alright, we're gonna long arm the Crackshot. Then can I Ignis Ember him down? I can.
Disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
So my plan here is I'm gonna Lightning Hands the Giant, knowing I'm gonna take that second hit, and then I'm gonna Raptorial Nature him, which we're gonna continue to damage reflect him. Okay, hunt down on the giant. We do a few extra things here, so extra accuracy, extra crit. He's marked and he's size 2, so we have absurd accuracy and crit on him.
The ground quakes.
Just healing up the Axolotl. And then I'm gonna... Oh, that was the wrong move. Long arm the Fusilier. And then I can Swift Justice them, taking them out.
Annihilated.
And then it's just the giant,
Reeling. About to break.
which we can Raptorial Nature.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
And I think he's gonna go down, like, next action. So we'll see what we can do here. Okay, it was... I need to reorder this. I'm used to the Glimmering Butterfly being on 4. So give me 1 second after this.
Has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
There we go. Alright, so I can go to the side paths here. If I remember right, and I think it was both Skiddo and Helmet told me that the dragon that we have to fight, because we have to fight Corrupted Dragon here, they do some kind of, like, minus healing received during the fight. So we have to go to the side paths to get some item. Otherwise, the fight is going to be insanely ridiculous. So we'll see what we can do. And I believe that they are usable items. So I'm going to see what I can do without the actual items. And if we need to use them, we use them. Alright, shove the wide mouth. And then we can Ignis Ember, taking him out.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
The law has nothing to do with the fishmen, sir. Nothing at all. Let alone a corrupted dragon that we're coming here to fight. Lightning Hands on the urchin. I'm surprised that didn't take it out. And then we can take out the Slater.
Diminished.
He is out of stealth, but probably not going to be hitting him. So what we can do is hunt down on Urchin.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Just healing up a tad. Marking Slater. Why is that so loud? Or is that just me, like, being slightly receptive to sounds right now?
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
And then Raptorial.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
And then shoving the Oracle. Just because we can. Before ad mortem.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Taking what we can, leaving the rest, because we don't really need the gold or the heirlooms, on this estate at least. So I'm wondering if this just loops around to up here and all this is worthless. We'll see. Okay, torch. Who's actually good to trap? 70, 70, 80, 100. Axolotl, you win. Or ham, rather. Because I believe I have axolotl on this estate somewhere else.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
Believe this heals stress? No, that is damage until camp. That is much very good. Okay, forbidden fruit. This is actually what I think I was looking for. So here's the problem. The crusher and the bulwark. I probably need to get rid of the crusher first. But if it's buffing them, let's get rid of the fruit. Marking it. And then hunt down. I can then lightning hands it down. And then raptorial onto the crusher, I think. And then we can shove the crusher, not that moving him's gonna do anything. And swift justice him. I want the crusher down first if I can get him. Please don't knock us back, thank you. This is something I didn't want to have happen though. So what we might be able to do, and we're gonna have to wait. So raptorial nature for now is breach with the axolotl.
Quickens.
To break the guard. Shoving. Ad mortem does a lot more with a higher crit, so let's do it. Then marking him. Let's see if we can't take out the crusher. Okay, that's... Oh, no bleed. Okay. I was thinking that was really gonna hurt, but... Alright, lightning hands. Concussive shot. Let's go with the bulwark. Healing a tad. Then we're gonna blight the bulwark. Ooh. At least no bleed. Then a hunt down, crusher down.
Victory. Perhaps the turning point.
Shoving, and then swift justice. Can't believe we're actually bleeding him. Concussive again. Not that it's, you know, doing much, but it is mitigating some damages. Might as well heal because we can before crystallizing. And take him out. That's one heck of a wrench.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Alright,
As the
so...
light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
This is not what I thought it was, but... Fruit of Knowledge, plus 150% Resolve experience. Plus 100% additional Resolve experience if is Dragonsaintess. Item can persist past current quest. So that's 250% Resolve experience for the Dragonsaintess. Then we'll give up busts for the ruby, because I don't need the busts. Well, I'm curious about, there is no side quest here, or like additional side room here. So there probably is another one over on this side. Let's go do it. See if they stack at all. Alright, there is a trap right away. We should default party order and let's see if we can't get stress down on her. We cannot.
Watch your step.
Minus dodge and minus speed. Let's get rid of that before we torch up and go in here. Side room, we'll come back to that. Good thing we dodged the trap. Alright. Not too bad. It's actually where I wanted Lawbringer. So what I'm gonna do, since I don't trust her right there, is I'm gonna guard her before moving forward by one because I have a stupid plan. Then we're gonna take out the armored urchin. Gonna crystallizing talon onto the wide mouth, just take him out easier next turn. And we're gonna impale hitting the Slater, moving forward. Because then, Swift Justice onto Bulwark, who's in row 1. There is a method to the madness. They're at least hitting the Arbiter instead of Grunt. So healing the Arbiter. Hitting the Benthic Slater for now, just to mark them. That way we have 2 marked. Lightning Hands. The wide mouth is down. Raptorial Nature. And then Long Arm, just for the plus crit. Swift Justice. Hunt down finishes him off. And Raptorial again. Reach should finish him off. And there we go. Don't really need any of that. Can't even take it.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
And to the last room. Ooh. Shiny. Getting rid of slow draw might be good here. Let's try for slow draw, and whatever we get, we get. Courtyard Phobe is always helpful. Another forbidden fruit. Let's see what we get. Alright, hunt down. It healed them, you say. Wide mouth is going down. Just because damager. Shoving the Bulwark. Just for plus crits received on them. Swift Justice wide mouth. I want to see something here, so let's see what happens if we leave the forbidden fruit alive.
Devastating blow.
Why so loud? Alright, Lightning Hand. Raptorial. 2 heals on it. Lovely. Malignant Vigor. Heal and Restoration. Well, Lightning Hands again. Raptorial. Let's heal up a tad. Javelin on the Oracle just to blight it. Punch down on Oracle, taking it out. Shoving on Bulwark. Ad Mortem.
Precision and power.
You're all alone now, Fruit. What you gonna do? Nothing, apparently. Oh, it does explode. Fruit of Life plus healing received.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I mean, I'll admit I kind of deserved something like that, but I was very curious. So note to self, don't let them explode. Okay, there is a trap. Let's disarm it. An 80% chance. How do I fail that 20 so often? I do gotta ask that. And then we can go up to the battle room with Curio.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Just saving supplies because I don't know how long this really is. But I remember them saying that this Fruit of Life was going to be really important, and this one does not persist past the current quest where the Fruit of Knowledge does. So that is good to know.
Decimated.
Let's Cutthroat down. Gonna heal. And then we're gonna mark the blood letter to take them down faster. Also tempted to know how long these Fruits of Life actually last. Like, is it one turn? Is it a battle? Is it the quest? We'll find out eventually. Like, I'll use it by the end of the quest. And Lightning Hands. Raptorial to take him out. Just the gunner left, who I might have to wait for them to come out of stealth. We'll see how this goes. Nope, they are going to go right away. And they're going to be pretty easy to take out, so I'm going to wait a second. Just so I can heal on the Milkmaid. Thumbs up for a little stress. There we go. Alright, healing. Healing. And let's take him out.
Obliterated.
Gonna use that food to heal. Taking what we can, which is nothing again. And let's get a little bit of damage on Glanville. So that's plus accuracy, or that, no, my bad, that's just plus 18% damage until camp. We're gonna go to the side rooms again. Ooh, something bad happened there. Wonder if there was just a fight, or if something like smashed into the reef. All considering this fight there. Gonna take out the anemone.
Back to the pit.
Let's see. Healing. Now, I know it doesn't do much on the Arbiter just because of his minus healing received, but it's still something. it's so loud, it bugs me. And then taking out the wide mouth.
Destroyed.
Then we can lightning hands the captain. And raptorial onto the bulwark. Just him left.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
I can pretty much take him out with whatever, but we will breach. Because we're going to mark him again. Well, that didn't go as planned at all. Concussive. Long arming. Into ad mortem.
Eradicated.
I was really hoping to heal a little bit on the Milkmaid there, just to keep things up.
This expedition at least promises success.
So, for those of you who didn't see the Sybil spotlight I did, which right here should be a quick card to it, Petal Pouch. +1 healing done. So, for those of you wanting to use her as a healer, she is a very good healer, but -4 crit. Moving on along, there should be... I'm not sure if this will be the battle room, or a battle room, I should say, or if it'll just go straight to another room.
Find no clemency in this place.
Well, we can get another plus damage. I'm going to spread this around. So that's another plus 18% damage until camp. We're going to default party order. And once again, I'm going to attempt to get rid of slow draw here. Night blindness is another decent one to get rid of. Okay, forbidden fruit. Wonder what this one will be. That restoration onto the Ouya Crusher 3 for 5 is something. Alright, well, since I can't lightning hands, let's just raptorial onto the Crusher. Long arming the forbidden fruit. And then we'll add mortem, take it out. Probably. Well, I can get it soon. So healing. Because we're only going to be doing a little bit to the Arbiter. And then we're going to mark the Crusher because I want the Crusher down more. Oh, they guarded it. Well, I got a plan for that. So lightning hands on Crusher. Raptorial nature onto the Crusher, just for that riposte. That might come in handy. Hunt down onto the Crusher for... Oh, no. We're gonna break the guard on the forbidden fruit so we can hit it. Long arming it. And then Swift Justice takes it out so it doesn't explode. And then it stops buffing and healing them. I don't think she'll bleed, so better she got hit than anyone else. Taking that little bit of a heal. Marking the bulwark for later. Hunt down onto Crusher.
Impressive.
Lightning hands.
A decisive pummeling.
To make sure the bulwark doesn't do as much damage to us. I mean, 1 damage less is 1 damage less, right? Long arming bulwark, so he's easier to hit later. Then Swift Justice onto Crusher. He bleeds out. Oh wait, my bad. Glimmering Butterfly, let's heal the Foreigner. And then Javelining the Crusher to take it out.
Champion falls.
Just Bulwark left. Yeah, I'm gonna heal with her, so... Right, Breach. Lightning Hands into Concussive Shot, which I don't think will do too much. I was hoping that she would go once again, but whatever, I suppose. Because I'd rather him not get a turn. Another Fruit of Life, so plus 100% healing received. They do not stack.
They can be beaten.
So we're going to get rid of the crests for that. Default party order. Going down. Torch up. Take a torch from this. Yeah, we'll bypass that. And then I don't remember what these curios were. Map inside is always good. So it tells me what a lot of that's gonna be. A lot of curios along my way, a few traps. So let's go all the way to this other side. Taking what I can. I think I can take the bandage. No, I can't. Well, okay, we'll come back for some of this. I might need it. I believe I got a plus damage from this and a plus speed. So with that being said, let's go on the Foreigner. So plus 38% damage for speed on her. She can disarm this. I'm not going to take chances with how often I've been failing. Torching up in the room. Ooh, the Stingray and the Rope met. I'm going to enjoy this. So first, the Thrall needs to go.
A singular strike.
I love that crit. Don't need to worry about him now. If I shove the Ropeman, he doesn't move back. So I'm going to do that, because I want him down first, because he can stun. So Swift Justice. Hopefully I get the thing from him, because that could be fun for some later content. Then I'm going to Raptorial Nature onto the Stingray, getting the Riposte, all that jazz. And then we're going to heal on the Lawbringer. I'm going to put a Restoration onto the Arbiter. Not that it's going to be that good, but it's something. And taking out the Stingray. Healing the Lawbringer up. I don't know what the Stung necessarily does.
Pitch of battle.
We'll figure that out later. Shoving. Oh, it's a blight every time I attack. Okay. Ad Mortem takes him out.
The beast, the greater the glory.
Taking what we can, leaving the rest.
Brought low and driven into the mud.
Up to the fight. It was a 70% chance.
Spring to life.
It was a 70% chance. How did she fail 2 of those, and how did Lieberg fail another? What's my luck today?
Punity.
I should know just to put it on the axolotl at this point, but seriously. And now just taking out the maggot.
A time to perform.
There we go.
One's limits. Success so clearly in view.
Torch up, in we go. We got 8 torches left to make it to the end. We might not actually make it. Well, there's a few torches along the way, so we might. So hunt down, taking out Widemouth. We are going to heal the Lawbringer, and then we're going to mark the fruit. So I guess loud noise incoming, because holy hell. Why is that so loud? Or is it just me? Long arming the fruit so I can swift justice it. I can lightning hands it, taking it out. I forgot it was marked already. Raptorial. Gonna hunt down on the Oracle. Raptorial on Bulwark. Healing Lawbringer. Healing Arbiter. Those little bits add up. Shoving. Ad Mortem. Ah, you lived. He is stunned, but he lived. I'm not used to stunning things anymore, I tell ya. So he goes down no matter what, so let's get some stress down. We're gonna heal a tad more. Just make it so we keep all these buffs going into the boss. It's another Fruit of Knowledge. Those don't stack either, it seems. But we're going to hang on to our buffs as long as possible and see what we can do. Ooh, Lost Legion. Alright, let's take out a Deadbolt. Crystallizing Talon Judicator. Oh, clicked the wrong one. Oh well. Bringing Deadbolt in. Swift. Would add Mortem? No. Alright, so Swift Justice Judicator. Then none are marked, so we're gonna Raptorial on that Judicator. Milkmaid stunned. We're not going to be healing with her this battle, most likely. Maybe. Maybe because the Lawbringer is also stunned. Hunt down, hitting Deadbolt again. That chip damage adds up. Taking out Judicator so he can't stun anyone anymore. Hunt down on Deadbolt. Just Judicator left. Raptorial on Judicator. Healing a tad.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Shoving, and then whatever we need to get rid of him. Probably just use Ad Mortem. There we go.
The will to fight.
Oh, we got their mace. So we're going to heal real quick with this food. Torch up with the mace, and then Judicator's mace.
Find victory.
Plus 5% stun chance if torch above 49, plus 5% stun chance if torch above 74. On melee hit, stun a 100% chance, so if you have both, that's 110 stun chance on top of whatever else you have, and then minus 40% damage. I will be taking that over the Onyx, just because I don't have it. And then leaving the rest. Oh, I've already searched that guy. Okay, cool. Going down. Grabbing this torch. Using that torch.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Not sure anything's in here, but might as well grab it. Nope. And here, fishy fishy.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
Well, I might be needing some of this other stuff, so we'll leave that, but we got a good torch out of it, keeping that light up. And up we go. It seems like there's at least 2 more paths. Ooh, that plus damage. Gonna give that to Glanville. Torch up. So Glanville has plus 36% damage, 20% on Arbiter, plus 4 speed there, and plus 38 and 4 speed until camp on the Foreigner. So let's get rid of the Armored Urchin in 3.
Another one falls.
Healing up a tad. Then we're going to mark the captain. Oh, the Pelagic Plague, really? Well, shoving the captain. Then Swift Justice on the Urchin.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Raptorial. Or not Raptorial. Lightning Hands. He's gone, so we're going to guard the Milkmaid. Just so in case the Oracle attacks, we get the extra chance to hit something. And then on Milkmaid's turn, we're just going to heal. Hey, look at that. But we can't attack back. But we at least got the reflection. And then down he goes.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Don't really need the Concussive Jawhead or the Oozing Potato, so just leaving those. Gonna get the plus damage on the Arbiter. I guess that was minus stress, that's fine. We'll go to the left.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Healing up. Or not. I walked right into that one because I didn't see it down there.
Technical hazards possessed by evil intent.
One down. That might be a bleed. Just take the opportunity to heal the Arbiter just because he's hard to heal. Taking up Maggot. And Raptorial. Wonder if jellyfish tastes good to him. Hey, torch. It was worth it.
Victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Hey, another torch. I was getting low. Only had 8 left. Torch up. I feel bad for surprising all these guys. Wide mouth goes down. That way they can't pull me. We're going to long arm the Enchantress and then Swift Justice them. So So no stress damage. Then healing up. And then we're going to Javelin the... Or I guess... Yeah, Celestial Javelin the Gladiator, blading them. Then Raptorial onto the Bulwark. Then, I guess we can mark the Bulwark just so I can get a lightning hands on it. And take out the Bulwark. So I just also had a thought about this. I don't think any of these fights have been scripted. And all of these are random encounters because, especially with that drowned puller back there, I believe all that's from my modded Mix Smasher. Or modded... whatever the name for that is. So... despite this being a long... this is either, like, as ugly... or and with the Lost Legion there, actually. So this is either as ugly or as easy as you have mods.
If only treasure could staunch the flow.
So, do keep that in mind. Some of these mashes seemed kind of easy to me, but depending upon your mods, like you might have needed to use more firewood and all that. I'm not sure if all of these curios are scripted or if they're supposed to be like that. I know the fights with the fruit were supposed to be there, but beyond that, I haven't even really needed to use food, have I? Which is kind of odd. We'll get Altar of Light on the Lawbringer here for a little bit more buffing. So 66% more damage on him. Torch up again, and we'll go in here. So, yeah, like I was saying, this is a long. Didn't really need to use any firewood up to here, which is kind of interesting. We're good on stress, we're good on health. That could be different depending upon your luck with your mashes, because none of this, except for the fruit fights, seemed scripted. So do please keep that in mind. With the whatever enemies you have installed, or if you just have vanilla stuff installed, your fights probably will be widely varied. I just kind of put that together. Difficulty for this may vary up to these fights and not including the fruit fights. But let's see what this is, because I can use these to get plus 100% healing received. Or not. It seems like that might be the next room. Let's get plus damage on Ham here if we can. There we go. 58% damage. And of course...
Mariner, another misfortune.
This part would have been really bad if I didn't have torches. These all would have been blockages that needed shovels. But because I have a creeping mist, they need torches. That would have been really bad if I ran out. So I'm going to use some food to heal whoever can, just to top up. Doesn't look like I need much else here. So let's go have some fun.
The match is struck.
I probably could get a little bit more out of that side room to buff myself, but let's see. 256 health, 15 protection, and 2 actions for a veteran. That is... oof. Now, I do respect the 2 actions because it's only 1 monster so far. %100% stun, 100% bleed resistance, so that kind of goes with the fact that it's a Covenant, it does have scales. And it is very resistant to debuffs. Well, let's throw a spear in it. So much for that health. Just because I'm going to get my glimmering butterflies back when I attack. Oh, darn, I was trying to heal. Marking it. Wing slash. Is that also going to be a move? No, that's just a bleed. So we're going to shove it. And we're going to build up ad mortem here, so I'm just going to swift justice. The hunt. Okay, it marked. It's kind of oh, minus 100% healing received. I did not notice that, so that is what these fruits of life are for. Let's see if we can get around needing that. I'm going to lightning hands. I'm going to raptorial nature. Get me if you can. So that's why we didn't heal. Gotcha. Hunt down. Gather energy. Big attack incoming. Torrential breath will be used on this round. I'm not sure it's going to get that. Kind of want to see it. Not sure it's going to get that. Gonna remark it. Oh, I really wanted you to use breath. I have the choice of taking it out this turn. Because if I add mortem, it will go down. Or I can see torrential breath. I'm even afraid of using swift justice. Fine, we'll juggernaut. I want to see it. Okay, that was a cool attack. Bye-bye, dragon. See you later. Moment of clarity. And then I think it just stress healed and healed us. So we got a blueprint out of that, which is a nice little bonus. And then 2 trinkets, so Transylvania Roast for the Forlorn, which is a rare trinket, and then a common trinket. That wasn't bad. There was a lot of comments on there that were saying, like, that fight was almost impossible. Now, I do know that a few of these heroes, once again, got multiple actions. Quite honestly, a lot of that was just due to the Foreigner hitting for over 50 damage a hit. And it's because of not camping with all those buffs all the way until the boss. Which was due to how I healed along the way. Fun stuff. Now that should unlock the Dragonsaintess for the Hamlet, which is a usable hero then. And I think later down the road unlocks this kind of as a... I'm not sure it's a 1-to-1. And if it's a 1-to-1, I'll just like put up here that it's a 1-to-1 as a champion quest. If it's not a 1-to-1, this is going to be a really long video and I apologize. But I figure I would do both quests just to show them. Unless, once again, you know, it's a 1-to-1 that just gives another really good trinket. So once again, that gave the self-annihilating scales. There's a lot of synergies with a lot of different classes, but I'm assuming this was made with the intent of using on the Dragonsaintess. This minuses her max HP by minus 999%. However, plus 13 speed, and at death's door, which you will always be at while you have this, I'm assuming, because of the minus 999% HP. You get plus 45% damage, plus 12 crit, plus 25 accuracy. You have 100% disarm chance, and friendly skills will give you 2 blocks, and every time you are hit, you will cure bleed and blight. And once again, I want to preface the fact that I have a modded mix masher that kind of changes mashes everywhere, so those aren't the normal mashes you would fight. However, because of that mash mixer, I don't think that any of those fights, except for the boss and the fruit fights, that any of those are scripted, so what you find in there should be random. I could be wrong on that though. But because of the Mix Masher actually working like it did, and actually having things like the Lost Legion appear, because usually when scripted fights are there throughout the entire dungeon, you get things like the Lord of Flies quest, where every fight is predetermined, and that didn't happen here. Everyone survived. We did get Dragonmania on Ham, which kind of makes sense. Dragonmania on Liburg, the Fits on Glanville, fun stuff. And then once you complete that, you get this event. A Contingent Alliance. The Cove is quiet once more, for the disturbance has followed you home. The dragon, now bearing a more cordial form, recognizes your worth. She will accept a partnership against the old ones, for now. Dragonsaintess will now appear in the stagecoach. And then you get one as well. There are a ton of different costumes for her, as you can see here. Actually, how many were there? 6. So you can hire her both from that event, and she will also now appear in the stagecoach, like so. It's kind of luck that she appeared in the stagecoach right there. And as you can see, there's Lunar Princess. I think I already did a video on her. But as of right now, I actually have not done the video on her. So let's grab her as well. Now, I'm not sure when the quest for the Dragonsaintess is supposed to appear, so I'm going to have to look into that. And then I will be back once that appears. So I just wanted to show this here. The second quest for the Dragonpriestess has technically popped, but there is a little bit of a hitch, which I'll show, but I want to go over this since the quest or the town event was here. Corruption worms in once again. Like a malignant cancer, the cove has once again darkened with madness. A hideous imitation of a dragon has grown, a tumor that must be excised. Plot quest, the Wormling Corruption. But there is, from what I can see, no quest for it in the cove. So, I'm going to talk with Skiddo, because maybe I'm not seeing the right thing. So I'm going to do a little tinkering around. I'm going to ask Skiddo about this, because the quest should have popped, but just because this was here, I wanted to read this for everyone, and then I'm going to figure out how to get this here. I probably just have to do a few quests, like I might actually just have to do the Cove bosses here, and then we'll be back. Alright, now that we have the quest working, I just had to go beat all the veteran bosses in the Cove. I'm not sure if there's any correlation to that, or if it was just I had to do a few quests randomly to get the quest to pop here. As you can see, some time has passed, because this is here rather than the quest that was the notification saying this quest is here. But as you can see, the Wormling Corruption. Like a malignant cancer, the Cove has once again darkened with madness. A hideous imitation of a dragon has grown, a tumor that must be excised. One long quest, champion level 5. Kill one malignant dragon. You get 22,500 gold as a reward, and the ever-shifting Talon trophy. Now, this is an interesting trophy in the fact of your minimum damage goes down by 100%, meaning you may hit for 0 damage. However, your maximum damage goes up by 150%. So it over doubles your maximum damage. So taking our Falconer here for a test subject, the Falconer here may hit for 0 damage or could hit for 32.5 before any other modifiers with that trinket, and I believe the 0.5 rounds up to a 33. It also gives plus 12 crit, plus 25% debuff chance. It's one of those trinkets where it's kind of a gambling of you could do very, very little damage, or even before the crit you could do a lot of damage, and then if it crits, you're doing a lot of damage. So, once again, I believe this is going to be in the same style of the last quest, where we have to go do all the fruits, or we should be doing all of the fruits, collecting all of them so we can do plus healing received for the dragon. So for today's group, we're going to be using B-Rain, the Saintess, just to show off how good of a healer and or damager she can be in the dungeon to go fight the dragon. We are going to be using her trinkets, and as you can see, she has her unique quirk. Now, the unique quirk is she cannot gain protection. She gets 100% extra HP, so that is why she has 90 HP, and she gets plus 50% damage received. So if you wanted to actually put a plus damage received or a plus damage reflection trinket on her, that would actually stack really well on her. Just for future note, I'm not going to be doing that because I have other plans for her. However, that would go very well. I also want to point out the fact that I have the Ghostly Chained quirk on her. I got that while leveling her up, so that might make another very special boss spawn on the way to the Malignant Dragon. You can only get this boss if you have the Ghostly Chained quirk, and I will point that boss out, and or the enemy that drops the item to get the quirk, if I find that as well, just so people are aware how to get that. Otherwise, this boss is kind of hard to find, and otherwise you're not likely to find it in a playthrough just because of Void Slime, the maker of the mod, or I believe they're like co-makers. It's Home for Lost Monsters, so they might not have made the monsters. I'm not sure quite how that one works, but they like to make it so some of these items and things are very, very hard to get. So I will point that out if that happens. But on to the party for today. So B-Rain, which is the Dragonsaintess's actual canon name, is going to be using Fiery Intent. Now, this only has a 50% chance to mark the target and has a chance to debuff the enemy for minus 16 accuracy. However, you'll see at rank 5, this is only an 85% chance to debuff. There's a few modifiers here though. If your torch is above 50, this does plus 25% damage, because as you can see, this has a minus 25% damage modifier on it as a base. So that kind of negates the minus damage modifier. However, if your torch is below 50, you get a plus 75 debuff chance on it. So you get to pick whether you want to have this as a plus damage or plus debuff modifier depending upon your torch. And if you happen to get her so stressed out that she reveals her true form, every time you use Fiery Intent, this will debuff your entire party other than her. That's what the deep true form other heroes means, is it affects the other heroes in the party for minus 10 accuracy. So every time I would use Fiery Intent, that affects every other hero in my roster, or on the team rather, for minus 10 accuracy. We're then going to have Breath of Life. This is her healing skill. This is a big heal actually. So this has a cooldown of 1, and the party gains effects based on their current HP. If they have 30% or lower, they heal for 25% of their max HP, and they get a buff for plus 50% of the current damage. However, if they're at 5% or lower, increase the heal to 50% of their max HP, and they get a crit for plus 20 crit. However, when I use this, the Dragonsaintess gets plus 15% damage received. And on top of that, once again, a true form debuff. The other heroes get a horse for 3 stress. And then her last move that I'll be using, because realistically, Vermilion Star Shower will probably only be used on the boss because of how long it takes to use, is Flame Infusion. This cures bleed and blight, and is a little bit of a buff. However, you do take damage to use it. So the next 2 attacks that whoever I use it on does, you will take 4 damage for a total of 8. However, on the 3rd attack that you do, so a little bit of a ramp up for this, you will heal for 10. So this heals you for 2 more than the total damage you take, and you heal for 9 stress. However, on top of the fact that you healed for the health and the stress and cured bleed and blight, this buffs the target for plus 25% damage, 6 speed, and you get plus 3 dodge if your health is below 15%. However, if your HP is that low, you do want to be a little careful, because if you take enough damage, this will hit you down to death's door. And finally, I am using Vermilion Star Shower. This is an AoE hit, however, I'm very likely not to use it on anyone but the boss, because this is a channeling move, which takes 3 turns to pop off. Now, because it's a channeling move, it ignores riposte, and on the first hit, it deals 0 damage to all enemies. And then after 3 actions, you get to use it on the entire enemy party. On the channeled attack, no matter what, you deal 15 damage to all other heroes. However, that cannot kill any allies that are on death's door. And this will debuff Vermilion Star Shower for minus 30% damage going forward for the battle. For her trinkets, we have another big set of things to go over. So I'm going to be using Obstinate Pride. This ups her damage by 100% versus anything that is below 50% health, and lowers the damage she does versus anything that's above 50% health. However, if she uses a friendly skill, she does the exact opposite to her allies. This buffs her allies for anything that is above 50% health for plus 50% damage, and debuffs them for damage that is below 50% health. And then on monster kill, all heroes minus 3 stress, and on monster kill, heal for 3 health. And then finally, Horn of Plenty. This ups her damage received by 30%, however, we gain a chance to get provisions after the battle, so that's going to be like food, so we get to heal after every battle pretty easily. And on friendly skill, Self-Restoration, 1 for 3 rounds. So if I use Breath of Life, or Flame Infusion on the first round, we're going to be popping off. Then, the other heroes. We have the Martial Saint, who's going to be pretty much our mark killer. So he's going to have Azure Dragonclaw doing damage versus anything above 80% health and damage versus marked. Feign Retreat for a riposte. Towering Presence to buff the entire party's damage, and giving himself a block in Azure's Dragon Ascension to do crit and damage versus marked, and also some shenanigans with crit and damage depending upon his rank and his target's rank. For his trinkets, we have the 6 General's Heads. This gives his riposte 100 armor piercing, his riposte extra damage. Feign Retreat will no longer mark himself and doesn't make him move back, and on monster kill will debuff all enemies for minus 10% damage. Then we have the Tattered Flag of Shu Han. On any attack miss, he will bleed himself. On any attack hit, he will heal all other heroes. And then on being hit, he will give himself plus 5 dodge. We're then going to be using the Anointed, Sacred Blade doing some melee damage, healing himself extra when he's marked. Zealous Ire does armor piercing, extra damage while marked, and extra crit versus Unholy. Condemn, bypassing and de-stealthing, pulling, marking himself and the target, and Renew being able to heal. However, Oath of Vengeance, minusing the amount he heals by, upping his damage, upping his accuracy on Zealous Ire, and on any melee hit he will activate a riposte, and then Desecrated Bandana, making it so any hit he does blights his target. On crit, he will blight the enemy party, and then on being hit, he will blight the entire enemy party as well, making it so that when he uses Condemn, he's more likely to be hit blighting the enemy party. Then when he uses Sacred Blade, he blights the enemy party and activates a riposte. It's a really big, good combo. And then finally, we have Quinn the Falconer doing damage versus marked once again. Crippling Shot doing damage and crit versus marked. Eye Thief if I need a mark, Spirited Cry clearing stuns, and Heavy Barrage doing crit while stealth and crit versus marked. We have the Kontetsu's Grin for extra crit, and on crit bleed, however, stress will be a thing, and Wolf's Tassel for plus 2 damage, cannot be marked, and plus 2 damage versus marked. So we've already done one dungeon, so I'm assuming this dungeon is going to be very similar in size, but we will just have to kind of play that by ear and just see how this goes. So with that being said, let's get into it and just have some fun. Same text here in the actual quest screen. I'm wondering if the actual dungeon will be the same though. Even if the dungeon isn't the same, I want to go through like all the side paths just to make sure I can get all of the forbidden fruits, just so I can get the emergency healing.
Now it must be carried home.
Because I have absolutely no clue if that plus healing received is going to be necessary at all. Let's do some searching with her just to show off that interaction.
Some reward. Task well performed.
Let's see here. Asia Dragon Ascension. I doubt we'll take out the Admiral, but we can try. That's a miss. Quick shot on the Admiral.
Precision and power.
And then she's going last. Or not last, I suppose. So her move skill is changed to Boundless Flame, gain an additional action usable once a round. Changed effect based on position in party. Position 1 and 2 is a self-heal. Position 3 and 4 transfers restoration from self to target. Now we are going to buff the someone else. So I'm going to transfer this to Guan Yu, our Martial Saint. And we're going to condemn pulling the Tide, I guess not the Tide Master, but still getting the mark on the Abyssal Slater. Hoping for a little bit of riposte damage when they go for our Anointed. Maybe some damage on the Slater here. Taking him out. There's a little bit of healing for the damage we took. Let's do Fiery Intent. When this takes someone out, we heal and de-stress everyone, so let's go for the Admiral.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Get a riposte going on the Anointed. A little bit of blight on the Maggot.
The will to fight falters.
Hitting the Tide Master, or rather the Slater.
A faint hope blossoms.
No longer guarded on Tide Master. He's healing the Maggot. Can claw it.
Another one falls.
Gonna transfer the heal over.
Give them no quarter.
On Fiery Intent, seeing if we mark. We did. Kind of surprised.
Destroy.
And then taking out the Tide Master.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Well, too bad we can't really take the extra food, but good to know that I was right about the Horn of Plenty giving us food there. Can get rid of a negative quirk. So we're going to go for either Light Sensitive or Nocturnal. A lot of bad stuff there on Axel. Flagellant, I mean, it's something. And then let's go through some of these side rooms. This is probably going to be a long one, folks. I know some people are not going to enjoy that. Some people are, but... Alright, so I said I would point out the fact of what made this ghostly chained quirk here. These drowned anchormen drop a item. It's like a anchor, I believe. It's a consumable item that can only be used while you are in the dungeon. So you need to basically make a split decision on who in that party you want the ghostly chained quirk on. You cannot save it to bring back, unfortunately, to make a better party for the captain. It needs to be someone that was in that dungeon. these two right here are the ones that drop it. We're gonna condemn one of them. Lovely, lovely stun. Actually, we can get rid of that, but... we might actually want... oh, never mind, we're not going to. I was thinking that the Falconer would, but never mind. We might get rid of these Anchormen if we crit.
Eradicated.
And then that buffs everyone else. Let's go for the other Anchorman before we get crit again, or stunned again. Upping our riposte.
Exposed to a killing blow.
Let's see here. Probably just go for one of the Slaters, because that's all I can really do. If we Azure Dragon Claw, I was hoping to do a little more damage to this one, because I thought he was above 80% health, but I guess not. So let's go for the one that's lower on health, and then we miss.
Blow to body and brain.
He's not below 30% health, I think. Actually, 16, 32, 48. He is. So I can buff his damage. Or I can mark someone. So let's try for the mark. And we failed. Gonna condemn. Let's mark one of the Slaters, at least that way I can rip it apart next action. This one might be a little slower than I intended. We'll just Eye Thief and mark another one. Oh, guarded by Sea Slater. And he's guarded by rank 2, so no matter what, I'm going to be hitting rank 1. 1 minute. Bear, come on. I actually would have been able to use Vermilion Star Shower here. I'm kind of surprised. I'll have to keep that in mind. Unless the, I'm not sure if the stun would have interrupted that. So if I hit this Anchorman, do I actually hit row 2? Good to know, but we didn't mark. Getting rid of the Slater. And then we can mark... Actually, this is armor piercing. We can get rid of him.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Okay. So quick shot.
A powerful blow.
Just leaving Anchorman left, and then when we hit him with Guan Yu, we'll probably heal. So let's do Breath of Life. That heals. And we'll just take this opportunity to heal up that little bit. Azure Dragonclaw, he's down. Healing for... Oh! I was half expecting this to proc doing that heal by 10. But because the combat ended, that didn't proc off. A lot of effects do that though, so I should have expected that. Okay, here's a trap. 80. We'll go with a 90 here with the Falconer. Torch up, we'll come back for that. Torch up again, Curio. Now we're gonna do this like I did last time. And I should have brought more holy water if I'm being honest. And just get all the buffs I can. Alright, Forbidden Fruit. Savage and Champion. This shouldn't be horrible. So we are going to mark the Savage.
Impressive.
Give Guan Yu a little bit of extra damage. He's going to do what he can to take out the Savage. Or, let's give him a riposte. Gonna condemn the fruit, pulling it forward. Or, you know, trying. Marking it for later. That's one hell of a riposte. So since it's stealthed, I can't hit the Savage, but we can Ascension hitting the Forbidden Fruit. Quick shot on it. It's down, just leaving him.
How quickly the tide turns.
Gonna want to get rid of that bleed when I can. So we're gonna transfer our restoration.
Confusion. Nerves.
Not that it's much. Then... No, I'm just gonna Breath of Life.
Soothed. Sedated.
Then Condemn de-stealthing. Using a bandage. Quick shot since he is still marked. And then Azure Dragonclaw.
Masterfully executed.
And there's our heal. And then Zealous Ire for the armor piercing. Down he goes.
Does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Now I kind of wanted to stash these. I learned my lesson last time of... Let's keep the torches as well. So let's do that. And continue on along. What is her trap chance? Nope, okay. Quinn, Falconer, go. Yeah, we'll just... I'm pretty sure there was only like 1 or 2 blockages, but we'll just leave the clams. Grabbing the sconce, cause torch. We're gonna need it.
Waiting to be spent.
And then we go to the right. Map inside. Oh, I love it. We got like a full scout there pretty much. Alright, to the right. Trap. That was a 10% chance. I just want to point that out.
Missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
Yeah, we'll just do this. Torch up. Gonna holy water this, just to get rid of some negative quirks there. And on we go. Torch up again. Battle room. Alright. We're gonna get rid of the Admiral then the Sharpshooter. So condemning Admiral. Oh, I needed to get him into a different row. Eye Thief on Sharpshooter. Dragonclaw on Admiral. There we go. Healing up, de-stressing a tad. Gonna up damage on Guan Yu. Quick shot on Sharpshooter.
Destroyed.
Gonna try to mark the Stingray.
Devastating blow.
Alas, wasn't a thing. But we can still try to do some damage to him here. So, Asia Dragonclaw. Getting a riposte on Axel. Quick shot. And even lower damage than normal. Alright. Fiery Intent probably won't take him out unless we crit, but we can still go for it. There, he's marked. And we can just Zealous Ire him down.
Champion falls.
I have way too many Captain's Bottles already.
Can be felled. They can be beaten.
I was really hoping to get some more food out of this Horn of Plenty here. But I suppose things like the Antivenom aren't bad at all. Up to the fruit. Oh, that was the wrong one. I actually wanted to keep Venomous there. Alright, so that's the 5 for 5 restoration. So we definitely want to hoard as many of these fruits as we can. Let's mark bypass stealth on the Tidemaster. Ascension on the Tidemaster, because when we take him out we get a little bit of a accuracy and speed buff. Just buff everyone with the friendly skill there. Condemn the fruit. Guess we have to take out the champion first now. So feign retreat. Can see about... Oh, I can't mark him. Well, actually we can if I hit the forbidden fruit. There we go. Zealous Ire. Go right through his protection. No riposte, but we still blight them because of that. Quick shot on him.
fatality.
I think I hit you harder,
In a single
even though
strike.
that one hurt just a tad. Okay, let's take out the fruit.
Well struck.
Azure Dragon Claw on it. That just looks gross. It went into his eye. Uh-oh.
A singular strike.
Well... Okay, I do have an action to take out the fruit. It does have a 15 speed. So what I could theoretically do is like Fiery Intent it and use Renew to get him off of Death's Door. Oh, I thought she'd be able to hit row 1 for some reason. Whoopsies. Now it's gonna explode. Or not. I was not expecting a 21 speed off of Quinn. If I change this bleeds for a 4. Hey. Rogue mode. Eye Thief.
A decisive pummeling.
And it resisted. I tried.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
I deserve that one. But we did get the Fruit of Life.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
But that is also why I brought the Horn of Plenty, is so I can get more of the foods. That being said, gonna toss the torch, grab the
Promise of safety.
actual fruit itself. I might actually toss the sapphires later on. And down we go. Fault party order. Disarm the trap. On we go. Yeah, just leave that. Thought I saw a trap here on the map, but I didn't actually see one, so I was a little skittish. I light the torch.
Radiance, may we find victory.
Doubt there's anything I want in the box, but you never know. And up a level.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Yeah, we can leave it. Ooh, this should be fun. So, we're going to start by eye thiefing the blood letter. And missing. Lovely.
Dazed, reeling, about to break.
We are going to condemn the Fusilier. Bringing him forward. We are going to Flame Infusion on Guan Yu, just for the damage buff.
Confluence of skill and purpose.
Man, they were pretty good on those rolls. And then I'm just going to feign retreat here. Just for the riposte. Breath of Life, healing Guan Yu.
Weakened.
Zealous Ire, we're gonna hit the blood letter pretty hard here. I think he's gonna go down to Blight. Azure Dragon Claw. Actually, if I Ascension, we still take out the Fusilier. Or the Cutthroat. And get the buff.
Time to perform beyond.
And then we can heavy barrage the Fusilier. Oh, we're in rogue mode, doy. Free action. Change back. Quick shot, bloodletter, he's down.
The beast.
Now we're in ranger mode again. I totally spaced on that. Okay, leaving that stuff. Change back. Gonna go up the left, then the right.
Dizzying fall.
Before I forget, get rid of the bleeding. Torch up. Thought I saw a trap. And battle room. Hey, chain giant. This may hurt. Since they're a surprise, we're gonna set this up. Eye thiefing the Crackshot. Once again, setting up Guan Yu. Gonna condemn the other Crackshot so he doesn't do as much damage. Probably should have marked the giant, but that's fine. And then we're gonna feign retreat just for the riposte there that he gets a massive damage for.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
Okay. Heavy barrage, one down. I saw that one coming. I was hoping to not have it happen with some of the de-stressing I was hoping to do, but I did see that one coming.
Cannons.
Ascension taking out Crackshot. Let's mark the giant. Or not. And let's actually mark the giant. Actually mark the giant. And there's a good chunk of his health. And he even missed us, so 3 damage. One more hit and he's probably down. So Asia Dragonclaw.
A victory. Perhaps a turning point.
Gonna leave that, we're gonna go up.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Disarm the trap to get stress down. Torch up. Yeah, we'll get damage on Quinn. Heading up. Negative quirk off of Axel. There's light sensitive down, so a few more light quirks off of us since we're highlight here. Alright, so I don't see this going on for 3 turns, but I am gonna try Vermilion Shower here. Or Star Shower.
Inspiration and improvement.
Gonna Eye Thief the Forbidden Fruit. Marking it. We're gonna make sure to take that thing out. We're gonna condemn the Savage. And we're gonna see what he marks, or guards. Good thing he actually guarded the Savage. That blights all of them. A little bit of a bleed on us, and if we Asia Dragon Ascension, booch down. Alright. Marking the champion.
The blood quickens.
Let's get rid of the bleed on Axel. Zealous Ire to just cut through all that protection. and then see about taking him down. Bleed and Blight should do the job. Unfortunate about the stun, but we still got the Savage.
Cuts on its own.
Alright, Zealous Ire once again. Marking. You know, last time I used the Kontetsu's Grin, which was a while ago, I'm glad they fixed this, because I was still getting some stress relief from crits and kills, which will far outweighed how much more stress I was getting from, like, the crits. So it's good to see that this is, like, actually working as intended now. Yeah, we'll just Fiery Intent. And then after he goes, I pretty much take him out next turn, which I might be able to Vermilion Star Shower. Doubt the heal's gonna do much, but we can see. This is turn 4. I did start it on 1, right? So let's just give ourselves the plus damage plus block. This is gonna hurt like hell, but I do want to see it.
Monstrous size has no
15-15 blocked, and then it heals.
considered a virtue.
So no matter what, it doesn't look like I can stack these Fruits of Life. Alright, heading on back. So over here, I believe, is going to be a Fruit of Knowledge. Which I really don't need, but we're still going to go do. Just in case there's like a damage curio over there, which I would really like to grab. For the funsies. Because funsies.
Lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Okay, there we go. There we're moving. It wasn't letting me for a second. We can take the torch there. Now, we got a good amount of food. We might as well heal up. I'm not sure about actually getting food back from some of these fights, however, but, you know. Is it me, or does this one have more of the loot curios in these rooms? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Cruel machinations spring to life with a singular purpose.
So I was getting a lot of the plus damage curios last time in the veteran version of the quest, which made this really easy to do. So we need to take out the Deacon first so they can heal these two. As much as I want to get rid of the ghoul. Then we're going to do plus damage on the Martial Saint. That's some blight for everyone. He's gonna condemn the ghoul for later because I want him down second. Then Azure Dragon Ascension takes out the Cultist Deacon, which buffs everyone. Now they can't get healed. Or, I guess technically the Frenzied Cultist can, but antics schmantics. Taking out the ghoul. If I quick shot and don't take it out, and then it doesn't go next, and I get to go with the Dragonsaintess, I can cure some stress here. Not that, you know, it's going to do much considering how much that grin is doing to us, but... Alright. So I'm gonna try to get some stress down here while everyone else takes out the cultist, just to try to mitigate things. Then you can get rid of the bleed. Asia Dragonclaw almost takes out cultist, healing everyone up a tad. And then you can take out the Frenzied cultist. Once again, not what I was hoping for, but it works. And we can't use the medicinal herbs to get rid of that debuff. That's what I was trying to do there. I will take the Mark of Frenzy because, well, I don't have it, and plus 20% damage is nice. No matter what kind of comes along with it. And let's go get this fruit. I don't know why I stepped on that. We're gonna mark one of the stingers. Let's go for the one in back. Ouchie. Taking out the stinger in back. Uh-oh. I was gonna mark that stinger, but maybe not. Yeah, we might be able to still get it. Or not. Alright, so let's armor pierce one of the maggots down. Just utterly obliterate it. If I fiery intent the stinger, we heal and de-stress everyone, which is going to be kind of useful here. Just keeping away from that heart attack. And then Asia Dragonclaw. It's not doing too much, the maggot, considering the protection, but every little bit helps.
Injury. Palpable fear.
There we go.
Executed with impunity.
Well, there's some more food. Taking what we can, leave the rest. Onward and upward. So, for what it seems, all of this entire dungeon, except for maybe the curios, and I'm not sure if the curios were random, is pretty much the same. So, if you did decently with the first dungeon, you're going to do decently in the second dungeon, is kind of my takeaway here. Now let's just try to mark the fruit here. There we go. Which is nice to know. I'm just now curious to know if all of this is randomly generated, including the curios, because at this point in time, I had a lot more plus damage stuff, or if it's all random, which I would be fine with, because, I mean, I had a lot of plus damage. I got really lucky if that was all random, which I would be more than glad if that wasn't the normal, because then there's not too many shenanigans you could do to just rip through that dragon. Yeah, we'll still get Piranha. Well, he's not marked. We can still do damage to him. The problem here is I don't think Axel, no matter what, can do damage from 3. So I need to do something to move back. And she doesn't have a move back unless I had a Torrential Breath or something. So that's unfortunate. So we'll just up damage on Guan Yu. And she does have that plus 50% damage received. That's why she's taking so much more there. So, marking him. A little bit of damage. It's only a 3 bleed, and I still have bandages, so let's see if I can't take him out. Nope. I was hoping to get the heal and de-stress off. Alright, so bandage before I forget, and then taking him out. Hey, there's some food, and a Fruit of Knowledge again.
Push on to the task's end.
So let's just get rid of that anti-venom that I'm probably not going to use. We'll head back. We'll do the last little leg. And then it's boss time. Some food from this. Or not. We can... Yeah, I'll keep my supplies. I don't really need the money. Supplies are good. Supplies are helpful. Supplies keep you alive. Grab that torch. We're gonna need it. What's in the bag?
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
Oh, it was paid for in blood, alright. Just maybe not mine this time. For once. I say, this is probably gonna be my blood later. Alright, can I heal there? Take what I can. We'll leave that. I'm not sure I'm gonna need these campfires or not. We'll probably use them after the fight. Then we go up. So leaving these, books are bad, torch up, and bag again. Now there is some food, we can heal Axel with that. So that's a heal for 6, Guan Yu's max health now. Love it. Ooh, here we go, just out in the open. So 18% damage, 18% damage. Let's get Guan Yu's damage up, because the only other thing I could maybe do is up the damage for Vermilion Star Shower. Yeah, screw it. Everyone gets a little bit of a buff. This'll be over quick. Unless they do that. Alright, so taking out the Cultist Witch in the back. Might be having a heart attack soon on Quinn. Condemning the other witch. Marking the ghoul. Ascension won't take out the witch, so we're just going to Asia Dragon Claw it. And miss. Worm food, you say? Alright, so quick shot ghoul. Couldn't have pushed Quinn. Fire intent on ghoul. Now the problem here is Axel's not going to be able to do much, so I'm still going to try to get the witch down, I think. Actually, let's get the ghoul, that way it can't do stress or stun us. This also heals everyone for a touch. I can move Axel forward Now everyone can do their thing. De-stressing on Quinn just because it's too close to a heart attack. I say as I get targeted by that and have a heart attack.
Perched at the very precipice of a...
However, I can stall this a tad. Breath of Life him. It's her. And then we're fine. Taking out the witch. Really? Well, Eye Thief. Yeah, we need to Eye Thief and get this fight over with. Otherwise, I would have Spirited Cry. Gonna transfer the regen. And then we're just gonna pass. I mean, we can hit the corpse. Not that it's doing much, but...
A death by inches.
And then... I'm gonna do something a little wonky here. Anti-venom would have been for that. Okay, here's the trap. 80% on Guan Yu. I don't want him afflicting. Just a torch here, unfortunately. Okay. Taking that. I'm not going to go to this battle. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around the other way. And that way I might get a few things for like plus damage and whatnot. And then I know the boss is in the middle here. So torch. Disarm this. Grab this torch. Which I'm gonna use like right now. And we'll do this battle. Go to the curio. Go left out that hallway, backtrack, and then down to the boss. Marking the madman, because screw the madman. One way or another, we're marking him. He dodged both. Wow. Ascension to take him out. I'm pretty sure he knows where the sharp end goes, considering that. We're going to quick shot the piranha. And now everyone's where they need to be. Thank you, piranha. Heavy barrage on him. Fiery intent marking the champion. Or not. It's 50% chance. It's a roll of the die. We are going to Zealous Ire because that... Oh, we didn't even mark... I guess we still do damage, but... We didn't mark Axel when he missed, which is the unfortunate part there.
Unnerved.
Yep, lights everyone. Hitting the marked person. That plates him again. I'm just gonna try to force the heart attack. I was hoping that I could use Breath of Life afterward, but I guess not. Zealous Ire taking him out. Then we can move on to the champion. Okay. So how this is gonna look, because Quinn goes first, is they're gonna Spirited Cry de-stealthing themselves, or de-stressing themselves. Important for the boss. We're gonna renew after we use a bandage, healing everyone. That gets them off of death's door at least.
Unforeseen.
Grab the torch, leave the rest. And we'll just use food to heal. Here, fishy, fishy, give me more food. I mean, he did what I asked, I suppose. Okay, this is plus damage, plus protection. So we're going to give that to Axel. Or just plus 30% damage, I suppose. I thought it was plus protection for some reason. Taking what we can here. Leaving the rest. Torch up. Curio. Could be de-stress. Could be plus damage. So plus speed. Or yeah. Plus speed, plus damage until camp. I'm gonna go this way, see what we get. Plus 40% damage on Guan Yu. Remnants of light for the Forsaken. Otherwise taking what we can. Leaving the rest. There is one more over here. I'm going to see what it is. Little bit of food. Otherwise taking what we can. Using the torch. And yeah, we'll just leave that. And down to the boss. Torch this. I'm assuming that these would otherwise be rubble, and this is only here because of the creeping mist mod I have. And we are definitely using the holy water on Quinn because I do not want them bleeding or blighted during a fight, if that is a thing. And healing up to the best of my ability before. Malignant Dragon with 412 HP and 3 actions. Tyrant's Decree, so we are not healing during the fight unless I use the Fruit of Life. Alright, so I'm supposed to use a friendly action or a friendly skill to get this popping. I'm wondering if I can just actually use Boundless Flame. So I'm going to try that. It works. Good to know. And then Fiery Intent. Actually, no, we're going to get Vermilion Star Shower popping off to do damage to the dragon. Other people can mark him. Like Axel with Condemn. Because he has no dodge. Oh, he's trying to hit Quinn. This is bad. Although he can't be marked, so unfortunate for you. I'm actually just going to do Quick Shot because it's just 3.5% less crit and does more damage.
As the light gains purchase,
53 damage and he's bleeding.
this is made clear.
Now, maybe it's just me, but I'd like to see Flame Breath hitting all 4 targets here. Just cause, I mean, I suppose if we're spread out, maybe Flame Breath would only be hitting 1 to 2 targets, but it'd be a cool effect to be hitting all 4 at some point in time. We're going to do Feign Retreat. That way I get the riposte. And we start ripping him apart. It's a 3-for-3 bleed. We are hopeless on Guan Yu.
There can be no hope in this hell. No hope at all.
We're gonna quick shot again. We are going to... We're at less than 33% health. Or we're at 33, so I don't think Breath of Life is gonna heal. So instead, I'm gonna Flame Infusion. Getting... I guess not. We're just going to Fiery Intent to do some damage. Maybe remark. Flow of Life. Oh, they spawn some fruits. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is Sacred Blade. This gives Axel some riposte.
Teetering on the brink.
I need to heal Axel. Or Axel's gonna die. Like so.
This is no place for the weak or the foolhardy.
And Axel is focused. Let's condemn one of the fruits, marking it. 15 heal, and that's... Oh, that's not a regeneration, at least. And then I can Fiery Intent on the fruit in back. Didn't mark it, unfortunate. And she's ready to do Star Shower. There's your riposte.
Injury and despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
Nice little crit there. Bandaging up. Ooh, I'm gonna do Towering Presence for the block here, because we have that Vermilion Star Shower incoming. And he's doing the same thing.
And now the true test.
Oh, that one hurt.
Or expire.
I should have used the Fruits of Life.
Terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
So here's the thing. If I use Star Shower, people are gonna die. She had to go first. I'm gonna do this stupid. We're in a bad spot. I'm gonna admit that. Funny thing is, it doesn't actually do as much damage as I thought it would to the Fruits of Life. So, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop both Fruits of Healing. Actually, I guess I can only pop one. And we're going to exit Boundless Flame. This way I can fruit... Oh, sorry. This way I can do Breath of Life healing people.
War can be hid, but never hidden.
I'm gonna try to renew healing Guan Yu. At least that way he's not on death's door. Unfortunately wasting that action. Popping the other Fruit of Life. And if I do Azure Dragon's Claw, the Fruit of Life goes down. And there's a massive crit heal. Then I'm gonna get rid... no, we're just gonna Fiery Intent the other Fruit of Life. We're almost there. I got a plan. Oh, that's gonna be bad. That is gonna be super bad.
A hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
Because the blight there. Sorry, Axel. And now she's gonna change.
Behold, the abyss is made manifest.
We still got this. We still got this, right? On you. Alright. Feign retreat. Get that riposte. That's heart attack. Actually better that way. That way his stress goes down. Gonna Ascension, taking out the Fruit of Life. That heals him. That heals the other people. Breath of Life. Healing be rain.
Soothed. Sedated.
And he summons more. Okay. That riposte is doing a lot of work. Okay, we're going to do Towering Presence. This gives him a block. This ups his damage even more. Not sure why we just healed there, but sure. Boundless Flame, I guess we're transforming. Breath of Life, healing up. We're already marked. Oh, that heal. That's gonna get me. Feign retreat. Let's get that riposte back up. Is that all she can really do is Vermilion Star Shower? Oh boy. Well, at least did some stuff and it went off right away. They're not healing anymore. At least he dodged. There's a riposte. There's a dodge again. If I Towering Presence, we get a block. We Vermilion Star Shower again. We might take out the Fruits of Life. I grant life, I grant death. Yes, you did. Oh, she's stunned. But dragon versus dragon and a warrior, I think we might have this if I can keep this shenanigans up. There's another riposte coming his way. $30 health. If we crit, we get this, but I also need that riposte. So we're going to do feign retreat. And thankfully, because of the fruits of life, we are recovering quite a bit here. If I would have used these earlier, we'd probably have 2 heroes alive. Crit for 30. So, it's healing quite a bit here. Oh, I'm gonna try to heal Guan Yu. Oh, I should have gone for the block.
In the pursuit of glory and gold.
So as long as we go first, I think we got this. So, staunching the bleeding. Vermilion Star Shower. Back up to full health. It's got like 2 health left. 9. So as long as it doesn't stun us. Be rain. Come on. It's summoning more. They don't get actions. Star Shower. That did feel so cheap. Now this one's going to explode, which is going to cause a little damage, a little bit of stress, but... Oh, wait. Do you believe mere poison is enough? I don't think that's mere poison. Okay, that was all in good fun, but I did lose...
Trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
3 very good heroes there. Now, out of curiosity, she cannot prevent a nighttime ambush, so I am not going to camp with her. But that was fun. It was all in good fun. That last battle there was like... Had I made a few different decisions with Guan Yu, he'd probably be alive. Had I popped the fruits earlier, Axel would probably be alive. I'm not sure about Quinn, but that's getting into ifs and thens, and I had fun. If you're going to that battle, either be sure to be really, really prepared, or just pop the fruits early. But that is the second battle. As you can see, the difficulty does ramp up a lot. I'm not sure if I just beat the dragon in veteran a lot faster, where he didn't summon the fruits to aid him, or that is an additional mechanic in the fight. However, Skiddo did tell me that because of the quote-unquote difficulty, they did take away a action for the veteran version of the fight. That is a thing I know about. Otherwise, the fight does give the ever-shifting talon, so you do get minus 100% minimum damage, however plus 100% maximum damage for equipping this among the other effects listed there. And then it just gave me a random very rare for completing among everything else I just brought back. As you can see, 3 dead heroes, B-Rain hit level 6 and got acute deafness. Kinda makes sense with how many, falling stars happened there. It makes a lot of sense with, probably the caverns crashing in around her and all the comets landing right next to her. Yeah, I'd probably be going deaf too.
An eternity of futile struggle. or penance for my unspeakable transgressions.
And then, because of that, a scholar's request where, dinosaurs are coming back to life from extra comets being around. Good job, Rain. So Displaced Tyrant has come back to life. I kid, that's not part of, the Dragonsaintess. That is the, that's a Color of Madness mod, but funny that popped up nonetheless. And, well, that was both of the custom quests for the Dragonsaintess. I had a lot of fun doing them. As you can see, that this was a very long video, but I wanted to cover both of the quests just in case they were different. And as you can see, the boss quests were different, and then I kind of wanted to include the full run of both of them, just showing kind of the parties, how they played, and then everything that went into all of those. So let me know what you think about the videos being split once again, where I go over the class in one video, kind of doing like a quick overview, how you might want to use them, going over their skills, their trinkets, and just them as a class. And then the next video is like a spotlight of them going through a dungeon, or in this case it was them going through their quest and then them going through the dungeon themselves. I might be splitting them like this in the future, so if you like them split like this, it's good to know. Otherwise, unless it's a really big video like this where they have multiple quests that I go over, I may be putting them back together. But if you guys like them apart, I may be keeping them this way. Otherwise, the Dragonsaintess has been on the Steam Workshop for quite a while now. I just thought I would cover it now that I have a chance and I have recovered from a few things. So if you're interested in it or you like it, go check it out on Steam. As you can see, it is the Dragonsaintess. It is one quick search away to find it. And if you have any feedback for Skiddo, because they are always interested in balancing feedback, all that jazz, or you just have any commentary, you like the class, you would like to see XYZ for something else, you'd like to see XYZ balancing changes, or you just outright like it and want to leave a comment, go ahead and let them know. They are very open to feedback and they do appreciate the nice comments. And otherwise, that has been the spotlight video / videos for the Dragonsaintess, and that will do it for this time. So like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time, and please have a good one.